Hi, and welcome to The Answer Is You. So, today I would like to speak on the topic of feelings versus emotions, and is there a difference? With this being such a broad topic, when it comes to the difference between what feelings and emotions are, I decided to cover multiple areas on this psychology and neuroscience perspective to what spiritual teachers and authors have to say. I will go into explanations as well, more details on this fascinating subject. Please feel free to share in the comments your own personal thoughts on this topic, and with that, let's dive in. So, the concepts of feelings and emotions are often used interchangeably in everyday language. However, psychologists generally differentiate between them. In psychology, an emotion is usually considered a complex psychological state that involves a variety of mental and physiological responses. Emotions are often linked to specific events or occurrences and may lead to physical changes like increased heart rate or blood pressure. Basic emotions typically include joy, anger, disgust, fear, sadness, and surprise. Feelings, on the other hand, are often considered to be the conscious experience and interpretation of emotions. They are subjective and personal and are influenced by individual experiences, beliefs, and memories. Feelings are what you experience in your mind as a result of an emotion. The psychologist and neuroscientist Antonio Damasio is known for his work on emotions and feelings. He argues that feelings are mental experiences of body states, which arise as the brain interprets emotions, themselves physical states arising from the body's responses to external stimuli. Dr. Damasio describes feelings as composites of a particular perception of body state, along with certain thoughts and perceptions. Emotions are a mix of physiological activation, expressive behaviors, and conscious experiences, while feelings are the subjective experiences of these emotions. It's important to note that the understanding and terminology of emotions and feelings can vary somewhat among different psychologists and other researchers. Some use the terms interchangeably or define them slightly differently, but the general consensus is that emotions involve a broader range of physiological changes and potential behaviors, while feelings involve the personal experiences and interpretations of these emotions. Remember, emotions and feelings are complex and are influenced by many different factors, such as personal experiences, cultural norms, and individual differences in personality and mood. The study of emotions and feelings is an ongoing area of research in psychology and neuroscience. Neuroscience provides a physiological perspective on the differentiation between feelings and emotions. Emotions. Neuroscientifically, emotions are associated with distinct patterns of neural activity and physiological responses. Emotions can be thought of as complex psychological states triggered by specific internal or external stimuli. The brain's limbic system, which includes structures like the amygdala, hippocampus, and hypothalamus, plays a crucial role in emotion processing. These emotions can trigger physical changes in the body, such as an increased heart rate or blood pressure, sweating, etc. Feelings. Feelings are generally considered to be the conscious experience or awareness of emotions. From a neuroscience perspective, feelings are believed to emerge from the patterns of brain activity associated with emotions, but also require the involvement of other areas of the brain responsible for cognition and conscious awareness. Antonio Damasio, a renowned neuroscientist, distinguishes between emotions, which he considers to be largely unconscious bodily responses, and feelings, which he believes are the conscious recognition and interpretation of those responses. In short, neuroscience views emotions as an interplay of brain and body responses, whereas feelings require conscious interpretation and experience of these responses. They are both interlinked, representing different aspects of our response system. Emotions represent raw, often automatic responses to stimuli, while feelings represent our conscious understanding and interpretation of those responses. Now, here is what author and speaker Neville Goddard has to say about feelings versus emotions. And for those of you that don't know, Neville Goddard was a 20th century New Thought lecturer and author. His teachings often centered on the imaginative power of the mind, visualization, and the law of attraction. Although he didn't explicitly differentiate between feelings and emotions in the way a psychologist might, Goddard emphasized the importance of feeling in manifesting desires. For Goddard, feeling was the key to successful visualization and manifestation. He stated, "The feeling of the wish fulfilled, if assumed and sustained, must objectify the state that would have created it." In Goddard's teachings, feeling is not just an emotional state, but it is the belief and the sensation that what you desire is already real. It's about truly embodying the state you want to achieve. If you desire something, you must feel and believe as though you already have it, and that feeling will help manifest the desired state in reality. As far as the term emotions goes, Goddard didn't separate it from feelings. Instead, his focus was on the concept of feeling as the experience of a state of being. He did, however, highlight that negative emotions or feelings could hinder the manifestation process by keeping the focus on lack or undesired states. Remember that Goddard's teachings are philosophical and metaphysical in nature, focusing on the power of the individual mind to influence and shape reality through belief and feeling. Here are some examples of feelings being a thought and emotions be the reaction to the thought. Imagine that you've been given a challenging assignment at work. Thoughts and feelings. You think about the complexity of the task and you feel anxious. The thought about the task is triggering the feeling of anxiety. The feeling is your subjective experience or interpretation of this situation linked to your thoughts and beliefs about it. Emotions. The feeling of anxiety then triggers an emotional response. You might start sweating, your heart rate may increase, and you might feel a pit in your stomach. These are physiological reactions to the feeling which was induced by the thought. Here's another example. Thoughts and feelings. You think about a loved one who passed away recently and you feel sad. The thought about the loss is triggering a feeling of sadness. Emotions. This feeling of sadness then leads to emotional responses. You might cry, withdraw from social activities, or have difficulty sleeping. These are emotional responses to your initial thoughts and subsequent feelings. In both examples, you can see how thoughts can evoke certain feelings, which are then followed by emotional responses. It's important to note that this is a simplified explanation. In reality, the interactions between thoughts, feelings, and emotions can be more complex and intertwined. I pose the question, what is more powerful, feelings or emotions? The question of whether feelings or emotions are more powerful is somewhat subjective, as it depends on what is meant by powerful. Both feelings and emotions play significant roles in human behavior, and they interact with each other in complex ways. Here are some considerations. Emotions often provoke strong physiological responses in the body, like increased heart rate, changes in facial expression, or tears, and can lead to actions or reactions. Emotions are often immediate and involuntary, so they can feel powerful in the sense that they can happen without conscious thought or control. Feelings, on the other hand, are our conscious experiences and interpretations of emotions. They are the mental associations and reactions to an emotion that are personal and influenced by individual experiences, beliefs, and memories. Feelings can be powerful in their own way, as they guide our thoughts, shape our perceptions of the world, and influence our decision-making processes. The capacity for feelings is also linked to the human capacity for self-awareness, introspection, and empathy. So it can be fair to say that both feelings and emotions are powerful, but in different ways. Emotions may provoke strong, immediate reactions and behaviors, while feelings guide our thoughts, influence our perceptions, and shape our longer-term behavior and decision-making. Now let's talk about how to turn a negative emotion into a positive. Learning to transform negative emotions into positive ones is a vital skill that can significantly impact your overall well-being. Here are some examples of how to do it. Fear. If you're feeling fearful about giving a presentation, you could try to transform this fear into excitement. Both emotions have similar physiological responses, increased heart rate, adrenaline surge, so it can be possible to reframe your fear as anticipation or excitement about sharing your ideas. Practice and preparation can also build confidence and reduce fear. Anger. If you're feeling angry about a situation at work, instead of lashing out, use that energy to fuel positive change. Anger can be a motivator for standing up against injustices or working hard to change unfavorable conditions. Sadness. If you're feeling sad, allow yourself to feel the emotion and understand its root. Then use it as a catalyst for empathy towards others who might be feeling the same way. This can lead to a deeper connection with others, which is a positive outcome. Jealousy. If you're feeling jealous of someone else's success, try to transform this into admiration and motivation. Instead of comparing yourself negatively, use this as inspiration to achieve your own goals. Anxiety. If you're feeling anxious about a future event, try to turn this into preparation and planning. Use your concern as a tool to make sure you are well prepared, which will give you a more positive outlook. Guilt. If you're feeling guilty about a mistake, instead of dwelling on it, Use it as an opportunity for learning and growth. Apologize and make amends if possible. Then focus on what you can do better in the future. Remember, it's normal and natural to experience negative emotions, and it's important to allow yourself to feel them rather than suppressing them. The goal isn't to eliminate negative emotions, but to manage them effectively and learn how to channel them toward positive thoughts, behaviors, and outcomes. This requires practice and sometimes professional guidance, but it's a worthwhile endeavor for overall emotional health. What does spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle have to say about emotions? Eckhart Tolle, the spiritual teacher and author best known for his book, The Power of Now, offers several insights into understanding and dealing with emotions. Presence. Tolle emphasizes the power of presence as a way to deal with emotions. Instead of getting lost in thoughts about past or future, which can stir up emotions, he encourages us to focus on the present moment. By grounding ourselves in the now, we can better observe and understand our emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. Observation. Tolle encourages us to become the watchful observer of our emotions. Instead of identifying with the emotion, that is, I am angry, we can observe it, that is, I am feeling anger. This creates a space between the self and the emotion, reducing its impact. Acceptance. Tolle teaches that resisting or denying emotions only gives them more power. Instead, we should accept and allow them to be. This doesn't mean we have to act on them, just acknowledge their presence. Pain body. Tolle introduces the concept of the pain body, which he describes as an old emotional pain that has lived in us from the past. According to him, the pain body can be activated by certain situations, leading to negative emotional states. Recognizing when our pain body is activated helps us deal with these emotions more effectively. Ego. Tolle suggests that many of our emotional reactions are driven by our ego, our mental image of who we are. He explains that by transcending the ego, we can attain a state of peace and stillness, free from emotional turbulence. Transmutation. Tolle talks about the possibility of transmuting emotions. When you truly feel an emotion in the moment without trying to escape it, repress it, or hold on to it, then the emotion can move through you and eventually dissolve. Remember, though, while Tolle provides insightful teachings about dealing with emotions, his perspectives are spiritual and philosophical. For some, psychological or therapeutic approaches may also be beneficial. What about Buddhism and Taoism? Here is a brief overview of these spiritual practices on the topic of feelings and emotions. Buddhism and Taoism, while distinct spiritual traditions, both offer wisdom regarding feelings and emotions. The Buddha taught that feelings and emotions are a fundamental part of life and the human experience. However, they can also lead to suffering if we become attached to them or allow them to control us. This is a part of the Four Noble Truths, which suggests that craving and attachment lead to suffering. The Buddha taught mindfulness as a tool for understanding and dealing with emotions. By being fully present and observant of our feelings without judgment or attachment, we can gain insight into their transient nature. This is central to the practice of meditation in Buddhism. The Buddha also emphasized compassion, karuna, and loving kindness, metta, as essential emotions to cultivate. These positive emotional states lead to peace and harmony within the individual and in their relationships with others. Taoism on feelings and emotions. Taoism is based on living in harmony with the Tao, the natural, spontaneous, flowing process of the universe. In this tradition, emotions are seen as natural expressions of being human. Taoist philosophy suggests that difficulties often arise when we resist our natural feelings or become overly attached to specific outcomes. It encourages followers to flow with life and emotions as they come and go, accepting them without judgment. The Tao Te Ching, a fundamental text in Taoism, emphasizes the importance of balance, yin and yang, and suggests that by allowing feelings and experiences to flow naturally, we can achieve a state of inner peace and balance. This includes the idea of not being ruled by extreme emotions and instead accepting life as it comes with ease and flexibility. It's important to note that these are broad interpretations, and the teachings can vary based on different schools and interpretations within each tradition. Also, while these philosophies offer valuable perspectives on feelings and emotions, they are not replacements for professional help when dealing with serious, emotional, or mental health issues. What does Dr. Joseph Murphy have to say about feelings and emotions? Dr. Joseph Murphy, the author of The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, discusses feelings and emotions primarily in the context of how they interact with our subconscious mind. Here's a brief overview of Dr. Murphy's thoughts on the subject, feelings as manifestation tools. Murphy proposes that feelings are deeply influential in the process of manifesting our desires. According to him, just thinking about an outcome isn't enough. One must also truly feel the reality of what they desire, which he believed influences the subconscious mind to bring about the desired state or object. In his words, your subconscious mind responds to what your conscious mind believes and feels to be true. Emotions and beliefs. Murphy also suggests that our emotional reactions to events are based on our beliefs, which are often ingrained in our subconscious minds. If we can change our beliefs, we can change our emotional responses. This idea ties into his broader teachings on the power of positive thinking and affirmations, which he believes can reprogram the subconscious mind. The importance of positive feelings. Murphy strongly emphasizes the importance of cultivating positive feelings like love, joy, and gratitude. According to him, these positive emotions are conducive to both physical and mental health and play a crucial role in shaping a positive reality through the subconscious mind. So, to summarize, Murphy sees feelings and emotions as powerful tools that can influence the subconscious mind and, as a result, shape our reality. However, it's important to note that his work is rooted in New Thought philosophy and is not typically embraced by mainstream psychology. As always, his ideas should be explored alongside other perspectives to find what resonates and works best for each individual. So I hope you found this thought provoking and enjoyed the different perspectives on this subject. Please share your thoughts about this in the comments section. And with that, always remember, the answer is you.